Well, my next review is going to be Jaws: The Revenge, but I just finished Fear Street, and holy shit, this is the surprise of the year. I have to discuss this, okay? So anyway, let's do Fear Street Part 1, 1994. Fear Street stars Kiana Madeira, Olivia Scott Welch, Benjamin Flores Jr., Julia Rewald, and is directed by Lee Janiak. What's up, guys? Jesus, let me take a breath here. Don't you love it when a movie just comes out of nowhere and completely surprises you? I didn't hear anything about Fear Street 1994, and this is the first of 3 parts, until about a week ago. I knew it was coming to Netflix, and let's face it, Netflix, for me anyway, it's slim pickings, for sure. So it's easy for good stuff to kind of go, under the radar. Luckily, I gave this a chance. And I will admit, a good poster is important because that poster did jump right out at me. And I was intrigued that this was called 1994. The next part is called 1978. And then the last part is called 1666. Very interesting. When you watch this first movie, because these are all 3 movies, then you'll know where those names come from. But I guess first off, let's do a quick plot synopsis and then I will just gloat like crazy, okay? Because I need to get all of this out of me. This will be a spoiler-free review, by the way. Now, from what I've heard, Fear Street is based on these books. I don't know too much about the books. I've never heard of the books. Obviously, I've never read the books. But I believe all 3 of them take place in this town called Shadyside. And the story goes, there was this witch by the name of Sarah Fier, F-I-E-R. I guess that's where Fear Street comes from, even though the name of the movie is F-E-A-R. She's burned at the stake back in 1666, and then she places this spell over the town, and she can basically create her own slasher killers. That's the best way to put it. And the trick here is these are not like your normal killers. These are actually dead killers. And you can't just kill them. Like say, for instance, you can't kill Jason Voorhees like you would normally. Actually, you can't kill Jason Voorhees anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. But look at it this way. This is a world that has like a Jason Voorhees type killer, which is called the Nightwing Killer from '78. One of my favorites, Ruby Lane, she's got a unique style about her. She sings as she's killing her victims. She's very creepy. And the beginning of this movie is a complete homage to Scream. Because there's this killer that's very much like Ghostface, even though he has like a skeleton. But just the beats of the whole opening really parallel Scream. All the way down to the music, the style of the killer, having a knife like Ghostface does. I'll just say, if you're a Scream fan, you're going to love this freaking movie. Not just because of the opening, but I think they use the music from Scream throughout most of the movie. But enough about the killers. This movie has some really great irresistible characters. Main character is Dina. She has this relationship with this character Sam, who is a pivotal character in this movie. And you can tell that there's some friction in that relationship. Sam ended up moving from Shadyside. But then Dina has this brother named Josh, who is so awesome because he loves freaking Iron Maiden. We'll talk about the music here in a sec. But he's like the computer whiz too, and he figures out, some interesting ways to combat the killers in this movie. You got this character Simon, who really reminded me a lot of, Matthew Lillard in Scream. Just very wisecracking, really strong comic relief. And this character Kate, who is very intelligent. And this group of kids will definitely remind you of like Stranger Things, the kids in Stranger Things. I was getting some vibes from like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And you know what? We need a movie like this at this point in time because a lot of the horror stuff that I've been reviewing over the last year is pretty dark, grim, and serious fare, which I love most of it. But every now and then, it's nice to have something that's just fun and you'll get a laugh out of, but it still has some great creative kills because this definitely has some awesome kills in it. This is a slasher fan's dream, but it also has like this really demonic witch that is really pulling the strings. So it's unique. I've never seen a slasher like this that's kind of dips its toe into another genre, and it works. It really works. Now, this particular movie is called 1994, and boy, are you going to realize that with just the music in this movie. There's so many great 90s tracks that you're going to hear along the way. I'd say there's a little bit of a con there because they don't allow the music time to breathe. Like there's some scenes where in one scene you'll hear like 3 90s tracks and you're like, you know, you're into the song and then all of a sudden it just like morphs into another song. You're like, oh damn. But that's just a minor issue. But after watching this, you can tell that this is going to bleed over into parts 2 and 3 quite well, actually. I already know it. They, of course, leave you with this great giant cliffhanger. And let me just say, that last 10 minutes are just like, wow. Like wowzers. Crazy stuff happening. Wish I could talk about it. Maybe I'll do a spoiler review. Fist pumping all the way. I'll just say that. And I can't wait for the next part. Really, Fear Street, I can kind of compare it to Lord of the Rings because Lord of the Rings is 3 movies that, you know, were already filmed and conceived. You know, it's just like a package deal. That's what you're going to get with this. It's like 1994, 1978, and 1666. And after watching the first one, I already know that all 3 of these, they're going to marry up to each other perfectly. And the next 2 are coming out, you know, over the course of the next few weeks. I just can't stress this enough. When you're done watching this movie, you're going to be begging for the next movie, which is 1978, which is awesome because that's back in like the golden age of slashers. But this is like a love letter to slashers done right, because if you remember like American Horror Story 1984, I had such high hopes for that season and it really, really let me down because it just felt like it didn't know where to go. This feels like a, you know, a fully realized vision all the way through, even though I haven't seen parts 2 and 3. I could be wrong, but if 2 and 3 are anywhere nearly as good as the first movie, 1994, then wow, this is going to be an amazing trilogy. Right now, I literally just finished watching this. I'm on such a high from this. I had such a great time with this. Before I give my rating, just keep in mind that you're going to see so many like references to like Jaws and Scream, definitely Scream, Poltergeist, and even like Flatliners. Like a lot of references to horror movies that we love so much. Guys, I'm giving this Trapped on an Island. Like I said, I just finished watching this, but man, I was just elated by the end of this movie. What a nice surprise. So please go on Netflix and watch this right now. I promise you, it's so good. And if you don't like it, you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding. It's your opinion. If you don't like it, you got your own reasonings. I love that we all have different opinions. It's awesome, right? Okay, but god damn, I love this. But anyway, be sure to go in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought of Fear Street 1994. Are you looking forward to the next 2 movies? I want to say episodes, even though they're movies. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, we do Free For All Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on all my socials. Support me on Patreon. Buy me a coffee. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.